Hello again. My name is Toby. I'm the tribe lead for booking and self-service, and let's get right away into what it actually means. To take a step back, it's actually pretty simple. Like, this is the customer journey for KiwiCon. Like, as a customer, you come to Kiwi, you search for your tickets, then you find the itinerary that makes sense to you. Then you enter. This is like the first part, search. Then you go into booking, which is essentially a form where you fill in your details and pay for the ticket, and that's when you get it. And finally, the last stage of the journey is after you have bought the ticket, when you kind of want to manage your ticket, manage your booking. So this kind of involves cancellations, changes, check-ins, and buying let's say additional luggage, etc. So this is like the bird's eye view on the whole customer journey for customers who use Kiwi.com. And in terms of what I'm responsible, it's like the 2 seconds, the 2 steps on the right, like booking and self-service. So search, it's not me, but once you actually start filling in your details and buying the ticket, from that moment on, like, you are interacting with what my teams are building. My teams are client teams, so we are literally building the layer that the customers are interacting with. So and they're interacting with on all platforms. So we have I have both mobile and web teams for both booking and MMB. So it's 4 teams. It's fairly simple. All teams are communicating with what we call a booking backend that's owned by a different tribe. Now, to actually get into, like, let's say I'll talk about booking, and later I'll talk about the other part, the self-service part, the manage my booking, what it means in detail. So let's start with booking. Booking is ultimately a glorified form, right? So you just have your favorite dream itinerary. You provide some information about how many passengers you want to fly with, you provide your payment details, you click book now, and that's about it. So, like, from this perspective, there may not be that much going on, but practically there are a lot of challenges that my teams need to deal with. So I have listed like 3 of those. The first one is that the booking part is actually the moneymaker for us. It really matters that this part works well, because if just customers start dropping out because they don't understand the booking form or it doesn't work, then we are immediately losing money. So a lot of the work here is just making sure that it works smoothly and that our customers like it. Maybe the second challenge is that the whole Kiwi is built on incomplete data. It's like we don't own the itineraries that we are offered. We have those from all kind of sources, and those sources may not be always fully up to date. So as you actually go through our booking process, we are trying our best to actually get the latest information on the availability and on the pricing of the booking. There's a lot of magic happening under the hood around this, like that's what our backends are responsible for. But there is also a challenge for the client teams, because you actually need to be online. You need to be online syncing what's happening under the hood, like when the updates arrive. And if there is actually a change in terms of, like, we suddenly find out that the flight is actually sold out, or that the carrier changed the price without us noticing earlier, we need to communicate that to the customer. So there is like this ongoing flow of data between the clients and the server, and that obviously creates a lot of technical complexity, which builds up over time. And finally, the third challenge is that like, we are not selling simple itineraries. We are not selling simple stuff. We like, that's what Kiwi is doing. We are offering you itineraries that no one else is, combining flights that no one else is combining from over 100 carriers, as far as I know. And if you have 100 carriers and each carrier has different rules, and some of the itineraries are very unusual, using various travel tricks, this all needs to be communicated properly to the customer. And let's say the UI and even the client-side logic under the hood kind of needs to reflect that. So there's a lot of going on. In terms of stack, we are using React, we're using Redux. That's kind of historical, but I think like this is one of the few examples where Redux as a library, as a state management tool really makes sense, because there's a lot of state and the state needs to be shared across the whole thing. Like, again, it's a form which holds customer data, like the data that the user has entered, but it also contains data coming from the server, and everything needs to be synchronized. Regarding mobile, it's like that standard stuff, but relatively up to date. Like our apps are in a very good state in terms of technology. So we use Kotlin, Swift, the latest tooling like Jetpack, etc. In terms of interesting projects that are actually happening right now, so we are shifting towards what we call a server-driven itinerary and customer-specific booking. Server-driven itinerary and customer-specific booking form. What it means that the actual booking experience will be tailored to a particular customer or particular itinerary. So if you travel by train or by plane, it will look differently, ask for different data, which is currently not exactly the case. And the thing is that we have like 3 clients for 3 platforms. We want to centralize it all on the backend. So where we want to get where the backend kind of is toggling from the distance how the booking experience looks like. And the ultimate goal is to make it as simple as possible for every customer. And again, the challenge there is that I guess mainly the communication, as in we suddenly have like 3 separate teams who need to build a solution together, and that's always a lot of fun. So that's booking. Manage my booking. That's the self-service part. Once you have your ticket, you can go to kiwi.com, and as you can see on the right, you can buy additional baggage. You can select your seat. You can buy meals, etc. Here the challenge is mainly there's a lot of features with a lot of challenging business flows, mainly around refunds and cancellations. Those are the most complicated ones, which kind of combine, again, that the situation with the airlines is really complicated these days. And our various like offerings we have for our customers. So depending on what services you purchase with your ticket, we offer you different ways to resolve your refunds. And that results in various user flows, and they are all implemented and owned by my teams. Instead of Stack, this is actually slightly newer. There's React, there's Next.js, and also REST. On mobile, the same thing as before, so relatively new. Kotlin, Swift, it's the same app. In terms of interesting projects, I would name the MMB 2.0, Manage My Booking 2.0, which is an effort to actually migrate all of the functionality that you actually see on the screenshot on the right to a new platform, which kind of corresponds better to how the product works instead of modularization. So when you look, for example, at the baggage, the idea is to have basically a standalone front-end app for a baggage, which ultimately can even be deployed separately and loads much faster, etc. And it's like almost a greenfield project. So there I think we are doing a really good job at delivering it great. So that's on my side. From my side, like you can see my email address, also my personal website where you can reach me. I don't have a hiring slide, but we are hiring. We need both web and Android and mobile developers, both iOS and Android. So basically for any of these projects that you have just seen. So we'll be very happy to have good engineers on our teams. That's it from my side, and I'll be sticking around in the other channel for any questions. I think we're out of time, right?
Yes, but we actually have a break coming up now, and we have only one question in the Slido, so let's ask it right away. So Peppa asks, do you have an API available? And if so, what are the conditions to use kiwi.com only as a backend for their own booking site?
So if I understand it correctly, the question is about whether somebody can actually use our open APIs to build an app similar to Kiwi. I think there is we actually do to some extent. There is even a public implementation on GitHub. It's called Margarita, and it's built in React Native, as in it's kind of like this model implementation of how Kiwi, like a third-party Kiwi could look like, you can go ahead and check it. But I have very little information about that.
Okay,
And,
sounds good.
okay, maybe the second part of that, like, what are the conditions? Like, we do have, that's like what I said, that's maybe the public APIs for the engineers, like if they just want to play with it. We also have like third-party clients who use directly our APIs, but they have contracts with us, and that's totally out of my scope. So if you're actually interested in that, like, I guess you need to reach out to us through some business contacts on our website.